Good morning, girls. How are you? And happy Ramadan to all of you. Okay, today we are going to be revising lesson 19.2, transversals and parallel lines. In this lesson actually talked about four things, the four angles, if you remember. We said that when you have two lines parallel like this, and remember that there is a difference between lesson 19.2 and lesson 19.3 in which the name of the theorem. All the theorems in lesson 19.2 we start with if line P and Q or lines whatever are parallel, then the angles are going to be corresponding, alternate, whatever. But we are assuming that the lines are already parallel. So for the whole lesson, we are saying if lines are parallel. So in here, if line P and Q are parallel, then what will happen? First of all, we have a postulate. And you remember we said a postulate is something that doesn't need a proof. It doesn't need a proof, which is the same side interior postulate. This is our first postulate, which is what? Where is the same side angles here? Same side angles are 3 and 6 and 4 and 5. And they are what? They are supplementary. Supplementary means that if I add them together, I will get 180 degrees. So this is our first postulate. If line P and Q are parallel and they are cut by transversal, then the pairs of the same side interior angles are supplementary, which are 3, 6, 4, and 5. And then we took another rule, but this time it's a theorem. And I told you a theorem means something that have to be proved. It's theorem based on the first postulate. So you are going to have to prove it. Using column, using paragraph, using whatever. So in here, if two parallel lines are cut by transversal, like in here, P and Q are parallel and they are cut by T, so the alternate interior angle theorem are equal. Where is the alternate interior angles here? 3, 5, 4, and 6. They are alternate because they are opposite to each other. Interior because they are inside the lines, not outside, like 1 and 2, 8 and 7, no. So 4 and 6 are equal using alternate interior angle theorem. 3 and 5 are equal using alternate interior angle theorem. And then we took another rule, which was corresponding angle theorem. So it have to be proved as well, which is if lines P and Q are parallel and they are cut by T, so the corresponding angles are equal, which is, where is the corresponding angles? Any angles forming an F, which are 3 and 7, 2 and 6, 4 and 8, 1 and 5. All of these are pairs of corresponding angles. And they are what? They are equal. And then the last rule, it's not a rule actually, but we know it. It's not a theorem. The same side, the alternate exterior angle, alternate exterior angles are not a theorem, by the way. They are proved using another theorems, which are what? Angle 1 and 7 are equal, angle 2 and 8 are equal. Those are the exterior, the alternate exterior. Instead of 4 and 6, we are talking about exterior, so they are 1 and 7. Okay, very well. Now we are going to start revising from the worksheet that we did revising this lesson. Lesson 19.2, we have question, we have, I think, 4 questions. Yes, we have 4 questions. Okay, let's start with the first question. Find each angle measure. And as you can see, he gave you this mark on the lines to tell you that these two lines are parallel. Can you see this arrow in here and this arrow in here? This is a way to express that these two lines are parallel. So if these two lines are parallel and this angle in here is 133 degrees, find measure angle 1. Ask yourself, from the 4 angles that we took same side interior, we took alternate, we took corresponding, and we took alternate exterior. These 2 angles together, they are what? It's very obvious that they are same side interior angles, right? And same side interior angles are what? Are they equal? No, they are not equal, but they are what? They are supplementary. They are supplementary. So in here, I'm going to tell him to find measure angle 1. So to find measure angle 1, I will tell him because of the same side interior postulate, so angle 1 plus the 133 degree should be 180. And that's why, because of the same side interior, sorry, interior, what is this? Interior, yes, interior postulate. Then to find angle 1, I have an equation. I should shift 133 to the other side. So angle 1 is going to be 180 minus 133, which is going to be, let's find out, 180 minus 133 is 47 degree. 47 degree. So the answer is going to be 47 degree. Okay, very well. Let's go to question 2. In question 2, these two lines are parallel. This is the transversal line. This here is 119 degree. So what is measure angle 2? Again, ask yourself, which relation is this? What is the relation between this angle and this angle? Are they alternate? No, they are not alternate. They are same side. They are on the same side of the transversal line. So they are neither alternate interior or alternate exterior. They don't form a Z. But they form a what? They form an F. If you flip your head for a little bit, you will find an F. There is an F in here. Flipped F. So angle 2 and angle 119 are actually what? They are corresponding angles. And corresponding angles are equal. So I'm going to tell him that measure angle 2 is equal to 119 degree using what? Using corresponding angles theorem. Remember, this is a theorem. This is a postulate. The only postulate that we have is the same side interior. Okay, let's go to question 3. In question 3, again, these two lines are parallel and this is a transversal. And we have this point called A, this point called B, and this point called C. And this angle is 83 degree, and you are required to measure angle A, B, C, which is actually the X. A, B, C, and so it's X. How can I find measure angle X? How can I find measure angle X? Actually, there is a lot of ways to find measure angle X. There is a lot of ways actually to find measure angle X. Just choose a way and solve it. Is there a direct relation between X and 83? Yani X and 83 are same side? No. Are they alternate interior? No. Are they alternate exterior? No. The alternate exterior is this and the angle in here, not X. Are they corresponding? No. So there is not a direct relation. But you can use these angles to find X, but maybe in 2 or 3 steps. Yeah, let me give you a way, for example. Angle X and the angle in here, this angle up here that have no name, this angle, it's equal, right? This angle, let's call it angle A. Let's call it angle A, the angle up here. Angle A and angle X are equal because they are corresponding, right? Very well. So angle X is equal to angle A. But still we don't know angle A. But I know something else. Angle A and the 83 degree, they form a what? They are linear pair because they form a line. They are linear pair. Since they are linear pair, so they are supplementary, which means if I add them, they will give me 180 degree. So I can find measure angle A using the linear pair, and then A will be equal to X. This is a way. Is there another ways? A lot of ways. Like what? Angle X and this angle here, which we can call B, for example, are linear pair. So this angle is 180 minus X. And then this angle and this angle are equal because of the exterior angle, alternate exterior. So this is another way. You are going to form an equation and find X. Is this the only way? Again, no. You can find this angle here using the alternate interior angle, using, sorry, the linear pair, and then this angle and x are equal because they form a z. There is not one way, two way, three way. Actually, there is wallahi 100 ways that you can solve one problem involving angles. So just try and find, solve a lot of questions, and you will be able to like solve it in a very, very short way using many ideas. You will be having a lot of ideas in your head. So I'm going to solve it in the first way that I said, that angle A and remember, angle A, I mean the angle here, is equal to x, y, because of the corresponding angle here. Okay, and then angle A plus 83 is equal to 180 degree. Sorry, 180 degree. Why? Because they are linear pair theorem. So angle A is going to be equal to 180 minus 83, right? So 180 minus 83, which is going to be equal to, you think, 97. 180 minus 83, yes, it's a 97. So x is equal to 97. So x is going to be equal to 97. Very well, we found x. Okay, for number 4, find measure angle DEF. I'm going to leave it for you. Just I'm going to give you an idea. In here, this angle here in this corner is 8x minus 34, and this angle in here is 5x plus 2. And you are required to find measure angle DEF, which is 5x plus 2. To find 5x plus 2, I have to find what first? I have to find x. After finding x, I can substitute. So how can I find x? Can't you know that there is a relation in here between these two angles? What is the relation between these two angles in the corner? They are what? They are alternate interior. And the alternate interior are what? Are equal. So I will be having an equation here, which is 8x minus 34 8x minus 34 is equal to 5x plus 2. And then you will solve the equation in the normal way and find x. After finding x, what should I do? I will substitute here to find this angle DEF. Okay, very well. Let's go to the second part. Okay, in the second question, it's like yes, it's a proof using the table method. It's a proof using the table method. Okay, let's read what's required to prove. Given that P is parallel to Q, you are required to prove that angle 1 plus angle 3 is 180 degree. We are required to prove that angle 1 plus angle 3 is 180 degree. Okay, before we read what's written, let's try to think. Angle 3 and angle 2 together, they are supplementary or no? They are supplementary because of the linear pair. So angle 3 plus angle 2 is 180. Angle 1 and angle 2 equal or no? They are equal. Why? Because they are corresponding. Because of the corresponding angle theorem. So they are equal. So angle 1 equal angle 2. Using substitution method, I can remove angle 2 and put angle 1. So angle 1 plus angle 3 is going to be 180 degree, which is required. So it's actually very easy. Let's complete. P is parallel to Q given. And then something missing, linear pair theorem, which is angle 2 and angle 3, as we said. So here I'm going to tell him that angle 2 or measure angle 2 plus measure angle 3 equal to 180. Why? Because they are linear pair, because of the linear pair theorem. Angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. Why? Because of the what? Because of the corresponding angle theorem. Because of the corresponding angle theorem, right? Okay, what else? I think I'm writing this wrong, yes. Sorry, I have a problem in the word theorem. Okay, anyway, corresponding angle theorem. Definition of congruence. Definition of congruence is that they are what? They are equal. So instead of congruence, just I'm going to tell him, so angle 1 or measure angle 1 is equal to measure angle 2, definition of congruence. And then using 4 and 2, I will remove angle 2 and put angle 1 instead. So in here, it's going to be measure angle 1 plus measure angle 3 equal to 180 degree, because I did what? Because I did substitution. So substitution property of equality. Okay, very well. Okay, easy. Going to question 3. Ocean waves in parallel move in parallel lines toward whatever shows sandy beaches. Okay. What's happening here? We have like a windsurfer or some surfer thingy. And as you can see, he is moving and he is telling you that these lines in here are parallel. We have line 1, line 2, line 3. All of these lines are parallel. Okay. And this line is like the transversal. This is the line that are cutting the parallel lines. We have angle 1, we have angle 2, and then we have up here angle 70 degree. And he is telling you that measure angle 1, the unknown thing, is 2x plus 10. And measure angle 2 is 4y minus 30. And you are required to find x and y. Okay. Since they are parallel, so I'm going to be using the 4 angles and the 4 theorems that we talked about. Let's begin by the x. Let's begin by y. Y will be easier. I have this is 70 degree and this is 2. Is there a relation between this and this? The 70 degree and angle 2? Of course, there is a relation. Can't you see an F letter in here? You see or not? We have an F letter in here, girls. We have an F letter. It's flipped, but it's here. This is the letter F, right? So angle 70 is equal to angle 2, which is 4y minus 30, right? So I'm going to tell him for y, I'm going to find y first. So 4y minus 30 or angle 2 is equal to 70 degree using what? Using corresponding angle theorem. Again, theorem. I have a problem. I can, yes, okay. Since angle 2 equal angle 70, angle 2 is given by 4y minus 30. So 4y minus 30 is equal to 70 degree. And then solve it. What should I do with the 30? Shift it to the other side. So 4y will be equal to 70 plus 30, which is 100. Divide by 4, divide by 4. We will find y to be equal to 25. We found y. Let's do the same thing for x. I found measure angle 2, right? We found only y, and the angle 2 is equal to 70, right? So angle 2 is 70. Ask yourself, is there a relation between this 70 and the 1? Of course, there is a relation, right? There is a relation between this and this. What is the relation? Angle 1 and angle 2 are same side interior. same side interior. So they are supplementary. So in here, I'm going to tell him that measure angle 1 plus measure angle 2 is equal to 180. Why? Because of the same side interior postulate. So angle 1, which is which is not unknown, it's a 2x plus 10. 2x plus 10 equal, plus angle 2, which is 70, equal to 180. And then how can I proceed? Before I shift anything, we have like terms in here, 10 and 70. 10 and 70 are, I have to add them, so they will give me 2x plus 80 equal to 180 degree. We found the 180 degree, so 2x is equal to, shift 80 to the other side, so it's going to be like 180 minus 80, which is 100, and then divide by 2, x will be a 50. We found x and we found y. Okay, very well. The last question we have, will be question 4. Make it in the other page, no problem. Yes, we have a big shape in here, and it was written that all the lines are parallel. Line X is parallel to line Y, and line N is parallel to this line. All lines are parallel, okay? And measure angle 4 is 80 degrees. This is the only known thing, that this angle is 80. We are required to find measure angle 11 and measure angle 13. Let's start and think about measure angle 11. How can I find measure angle 11? Again, there is a lot of ways. I'm going to solve it in a way, you can solve it in another way, and she can solve it in another whole other way. Okay, in my opinion, in my thinking, angle 4 and angle 3 are linear pair, right? So they are supplementary. So I will find angle 3. And then angle 3 and angle 11 are equal. Angle 3 and angle 11 are equal, right? So I will be able to find measure angle 11. So this is what I'm going to write in here. So in here, I'm going to tell him that angle 3 okay, angle 3, again, I will change the font at the end. Anyway, angle 3 plus angle 4 is 180. Why? Because they are linear pair, right? Okay, so angle 3 plus 80 degree, which is angle 4, is equal to 180. And then how can I solve it? We need to remove all of this. Okay, and then I will shift 80 to the other side. So angle 3 is going to be 180 minus 80, which is 100. So I found angle 3 equal to 100. And then angle 11 is equal to angle 3 equal to 100. Why is this? Because of the F, because of the corresponding angles. Okay, girls, for measure angle 13, I will leave it as a bonus, and it will be counted for marks in your report card if you know how to do it. Like if you missed a homework, if you missed a classwork or whatever, this will increase your mark if you find measure angle 13. So please try to find this angle and send it back to me. Even if you don't have a printer or whatever, I don't want a printer. Just in a piece of paper, write question 4, measure angle 13 equal whatever. and tell me how did you find it. يعني not just like measure angle 13 is كذا and then you go. No, to tell me like what I did here, that in steps these are linear pair and so they are 180, so whatever, so corresponding angle. You have to tell me the steps. Okay. Okay, girls, and I will be seeing tomorrow, inshallah, in revising lesson 19.3. Thank you very much and see you tomorrow.